What's up?
Right.
My partner in crime is back from vacation, and so am I.
We'll have the weekend, but I'm gonna relax. But it's been a great vacation so far. I know you had a good time in Florida, albeit a hard time getting back.
Yeah, it was definitely it was a journey. I can tell you that. I think it took us 20 hours to get back, but we didn't get home till like 5:30 in the morning. It was oh my god. It was like
Stephanie out for breakfast. I would have done that.
Dude, we blasted open the door, said hello to the kitties, and I hit that pillow so fast, dude. Have you ever been that tired where you basically you're almost crying because you're so tired, and when you hit that pillow, you don't even really remember hitting that pillow?
No, yeah, you just feel those cold sheets on your toes, and it's like
I know, it's a great feeling. But yeah, we discovered that you and I can talk about it off air, is getting the wire slinger on maybe on Fridays, and he can give us our wire slinger rant of the week.
I'd love to hear the wire slinger.
Jay, you better get your rib cage, your stomach muscles in shape, because this dude will have you laughing.
All right.
He made the week just in stupid people. And he kept worrying. He said, well, if I come on the show, how am I going to have enough like topics? I'm like, dude, this world is so jacked up. You will never not have a subject to talk about.
Yeah, read the headlines every day.
Yeah, or get your car, drive up to Kroger's or something. You'll find something on the way up.
And don't go to Kroger. Too damned expensive.
Oh, that's right. You got one down your street.
Leslie and I were there today, and man, wow.
No. Yeah. I picked up a thing of orange juice and paid like $6 something for it. And I'm like, what? Come on. You guys are killing me. Anyway, glad you're back. Glad I'm back. We're getting in the mix. It's football season. We are primed and ready to go. Jay will have some soccer, maybe some F1 for you. So let me get to yesterday's results. We had a hold on. We kind of had a minor train wreck of a day yesterday. There were not many games on the slate, so we took a 3-7 overall beating. But what always saves us are, and those are a lot of those are leans, but we went 2-2 in our best bets. So that kind of kept us above water somewhat. Our leans, we had San Fran and Milwaukee over 7.5. They only got 3. That was an early game. Game 1. Then we had Miami and Philly under 7.5. They decided to get the bats going. We lost that 11 runs there. Cincy and Chicago over 8. They only got to 7. So that kind of ruined our little leans there. Now our player props, man, oh man, I really liked them. I liked all 3 actually. We had Dylan Cease of the White Sox under 8.5. He crept over with 9. Lost that, but then we came back with Sonny Gray from Minnesota over 4.5 strikeouts. He had a great day. He had 7. But then we had Miami plus a half a run first 5 innings. They were losing by 1, so we lost that. Now, as our best bets went, the best bet of the day did not come through, unfortunately. St. Louis minus 1.5 over Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's owned St. Louis this year. They just got their number. They beat Adam Wainwright, so they took out one of their better pitchers.
Yeah, it was a tough guy to beat.
Yeah, and especially at home, it's like he's just you automatic. Can't beat. Oh yeah, you can't beat the guy at home. But they took him out. San Fran money line over Milwaukee. We were going for a home run here because it was plus 178. It just had all the fixins for a win, and it really, Milwaukee did their part in the game to lose because they only scored 2 runs, but San Fran just couldn't get any runs over the plate. They only got 1, so we took the loss there. But we came back with 2 wins with Sandy Alcantara of Miami, who I just love this guy. Over 5.5 strikeouts was a win, and then Kyle Gibson under 4.5 strikeouts was a win because he only had 2. And then we piled up for the 3-team parlay: St. Louis -1.5, San Fran money line, White Sox -1.5, and we only got 1 out of the 3, so that don't count. Then for our underdog of the day, we just got done talking about San Fran money line over Milwaukee. So we took the loss there. Now, last night, Jay, we had our first NFL game of the year.
Boy, I tell you what, I actually did not mind seeing Stafford and the Rams get their asses handed to them.
They did. They got pummeled. The score really didn't reflect the pummeling they got.
No.
Stafford had, I think, 3 interceptions. One time they only scored 10 points, and they got them in the second quarter, and I still wasn't really worried about it because obviously we had Buffalo -2.5. They just thunderstumped. I'm telling you what, Jay, that could be your Super Bowl team right there,
that's
dude.
Josh Allen, man, that's the guy I want. If I'm starting to team, that's my quarterback right there. I love that guy.
We've people were hard on him, playing in Buffalo. Buffalo is just not it's not your LA, it's not your New York.
So it's kind of sexy market.
Yeah, it's not. That's a good way to put it. It's not your sexy market. But he playing this way, he's going to own Buffalo.
Oh, those Buffalo folk. I mean, those people are passionate fans.
Oh,
love the
God, yes.
Fan base.
So
the Buffalo Mafia. Those Mafia.
Yes. That's a good. Oh man, that's a nice name for them. They should watch our show, and they would.
Well, that's what they go by. So yeah, they're.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, it makes sense because they owned LA yesterday. They owned the city. They owned everything. Now, as our bets went for the night, let's see here. Results. Where is it? Let's see.
But I even like the fact that this Allen, this guy does it all. Stafford's not mobile. That's always been his problem. I mean, he just stands in the pocket and slings. And I like Allen, man. When he runs, he's big, strong, fast, and he doesn't go down.
Oh, absolutely.
A hell of a defense too. The Buffalo defense is wow. Those guys are lights out.
Yep. Hold on one second. I'm trying to pull up. Oh, die. It's right here. Okay, so I click on that. God, I tell you, Jay, you and I should probably go to computer class. What do you think?
I'm getting better at it.
Are you getting better?
I'm getting better. I have really got a good tutor. So
yes,
she's a wonderful tutor.
I think you got Steph laughing upstairs.
Well, that's good. If she's laughing, I'm laughing.
Anyway, so I guess I haven't really figured out how Thursday night games, I'm going to break down the games because it's only one game usually. So I think they may throw 2 up there, but I can break it down more, do some more props. But last night we went 5-4 overall on our picks for the game, but we hit the mother load with basically a incredible long shot plus 856, and we hit it right off the bat, and I'll explain right now. So we took Buffalo -2.5 over the Rams. Obviously, they won 31-10. I really believed that they were going to go over 52.5. And I actually talked on the show yesterday. You can even bump it up to 54.5. I really thought they were going to be slinging this thing around.
Well, it's not at home.
I should have known better, but when I was putting I knew Josh could do it, and I knew Stafford had issues with his arm, but I thought the guy's he's going to do decent. He didn't do well at all, and he kept the points down to 41.
Yep.
So I'm going to blame that loss on him. But We did
Well,
lose that
we've
one.
seen it before. I mean, 12 years in Detroit.
Yeah. The pick I love the most was Josh Allen over 35.5 attempts. This guy last year was averaging 37.5, but he was hitting the 40s on a regular basis near the end of the season. This guy was just, if you're a wide receiver, you're gonna get your targets, man. But he only ended up with 31 because really didn't need to. They had such a lead,
right?
And that kind of blew that pick out of the water. So we lost that. Then we lost the Dawson Knox receiving yards. I thought he'd be a decent target, but he had all sorts of different targets that he chose. He only got one attempt for 5 yards, so he didn't get over the 39.5. Now, the one I really liked, Gabriel Davis, wide receiver for Buffalo. And I think I wrote up on yesterday's Facebook, I put on what this guy has done. And I'm thinking, you know what? I think my gut was that LA is not, they're going to focus on the wrong person. And Stefan would be that guy.
Yep.
And they chose to go to Gabriel 5 minutes and 4 seconds into the game. And all we needed was Gabriel to get a touchdown. And he got the first touchdown of the game, which paid a huge whopping plus 856. So if you took our bet on that, you guys cashed big time. $20 bet would have paid $193. So
you're paying for dinner.
I'm paying for dinner.
Whoever
then
won.
If there were 4 other props I really loved. We hit 3 out of the 4. Stephon Diggs over 5.5 receptions plus money there. He had 8. Jamison Crowder over 1.5 receptions. He had 3. And the loss we had was Isaiah McKenzie over 31.5 reception yards. He only got 19. But then Tyler Higbee was the only Ram I liked over 4.5 receptions. He got 5. So overall, 5-4, but we hit the Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
So, and I like that. I will take that any day of the year. So,
and, I know a lot of the Detroit Lions fans were really cheering for Stafford last year, but I wasn't. I have to admit that I wasn't. Nope. I don't know how you felt about it.
No, I'm with you on that. I really didn't. I was siding more on the way you were going. I mean, we've had our time with him. I don't think he's a great quarterback.
No,
I think he's good. He's definitely serviceable. I mean, yeah, he went over there, won the Super Bowl, but look who he had around him. You had a great coach. He had all the playmakers. Detroit, we
only had Calvin. I mean,
yeah, we had Calvin, and the poor guy.
I could have thrown to Calvin Johnson and
I mean, jump ball. If you're down in the red zone, like put everybody on one side, Calvin, we're throwing you a jump ball. Yep. Simple as that.
And he's going to get it 9 times.
You're going to get a flag or you're going to get a touchdown. Yep. One of the two is going to happen. But for whatever reason, did not register with the Lions coaching staff. But that is what it is. So for baseball, I will quickly go over the games for tonight because we got a lot to talk about with football.
Yeah, and after you get done doing that, let's discuss the rules changes for 2023.
Yes, news came out, and Jason Cox has that for us. And that is
go with your picks, and we can discuss that at the end of your picks.
Yeah. So real quickly, I won't dig deep into them, but the ones I was leaning to today are the LA Dodgers and San Diego. No runs first inning. Pitchers are set up for it, so I do like that. Milwaukee money line over Cincinnati is only minus 135. It's pretty good for a money line pick. Seattle money line over Atlanta is plus money. I love Seattle at home. And then player props, we got Jose Ramirez of Cleveland over 1.5 total bases plus money. Carlos Carrera of Minnesota over 1.5 total bases plus 130. Brian Bello of Boston over 3.5 strikeouts. And Luis Giolito, Chicago White Sox, one of their top hurlers, over 5.5 strikeouts plus money. Our best bets, our number one gun of the night, the one I suggest putting probably 2 units on tonight. Cleveland, Minnesota, no runs first inning.
Oh yeah.
Bottom line, end of discussion. There will be 2 goose eggs after the first inning. So I love that. It's only minus 110. So let's jump on that. I love Toronto minus 1.5 over Texas plus 105. We just got done mentioning Cleveland and Minnesota, but we'll go under 8 runs. It's going to be extremely low scoring tonight.
Yep.
Houston minus 1.5 over the Angels, and Arizona minus 1.5 over Colorado plus 155. Now your 3-team parlay tonight, throw Houston minus 1.5, Cleveland, Minnesota under 8.5, and Toronto minus 1.5. $20 3-team parlay. Those are our 3 best picks of the night. $123 it'll pay. And for your underdog of the day, we got done talking about Pittsburgh owning St. Louis. Take the money line plus 172. Right. Those are your picks of the night. We will post this video on Facebook so you can watch it later or whenever you want to watch it, but get on before the game starts. So what do you got on rules change? Because I kind of like it.
The first one is the pitch timer. They got to speed the game up.
Long overdue.
I cannot watch a baseball game. I can't do it.
Yeah.
When the bases are empty, the pitcher has 15 seconds to get the pitch off. When there are men on bases, you got 20 seconds.
Yep.
And the hitter's only going to be able to step out of the box and take a timeout one time, which, hey, adjust your cup, whatever, do your shit. Boom. Get in there, get ready to hit.
Yeah, they've been testing these in the minor leagues with the pitch clock. And when they strictly enforced it, it accelerates, like you said, it accelerates the speed of the game. The minor league games this season have consistently clocked in at under 2 hours, 30 minutes. And that, to me, is comfortable.
Yeah.
You get to that 3-hour mark, you're kind of doing the...
Well, and you're spending $14 for a beer, and you're drinking your 10th beer, and you don't know how you're going to make it home if you can afford the gas. So,
right now they're saying this rule is really strict. The catcher must be in position when the timer hits 10 seconds. The hitter must have both feet in the batter's box and must be alert. The 8-second mark, the pitcher must start his motion to pitch by the expiration of the clock. A violation by the pitcher is an automatic ball. One by the hitter constitutes as an automatic strike.
Well, hopefully,
now, I love that.
Yeah, I do too. Get it going. Speed it up.
And another one is that stupid shift. I get it.
Yeah.
But you and I have watched sports forever. When we played, we never had to deal with stupid stuff like this.
No.
And it's just stay put. It's just, you're playing this base, you're playing it, just play the damn game. But they're saying, they're fringing on the strategy of the game, but I still think that it has to be done. It says the banning of defensive shifts, which were once a fringe strategy but become normal occurrence on the ban of left-handed hitters, is among the more extreme versions, preventing defensive player movement in multiple directions, with all 4 infielders needing to be on the dirt. The days of the 4 outfielder setup will finally be over. Even more pertinent, shifting an infielder to play short right field or simply overshifting 3 infielders to the right side of the second base bag will no longer be legal.
Well, and I like the fact that, now, with the shift, I like the fact that now a guy's just going to go up there and he's going to hit. He's going to hit. And if he hits it out of the infield, good on him.
Right. Now, I think where they might run into a problem with all these rule changes, the pickoffs. And this is what they're saying. Pickoffs and step-offs reset the pitch clock, and the rules will limit pitchers to two for each plate appearance. So the number would see now the problem when you limit pitchers. Okay, let's say he threw over twice. The runner's going to like bolt, won't he? I mean,
I guess a lot of that plays into this. What kind of an arm does the catcher have?
Okay. Well, I guess this answers the question. A pitcher can make a third pickoff attempt, but if it's unsuccessful, it will be a balk, allowing the runners to move up a base.
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
And think maybe it'll encourage a little more base stealing because we don't really see it like we used to. And I'd like to see more base stealing, honestly.
Right. The Ricky Hendersons, the Vince Colemans,
Brock.
Oh God, yeah. We want to see those days back.
I loved stolen bases. I mean, it was exciting, and you don't see.
Oh yeah. So that will bring that back. And I guess if you're a pitcher and you've thrown two over there if you've thrown two over there with no success, now you're in some weird strategy where you're either going to have to throw a pitch out or
and
attempt a third
pitch count.
Something, yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I dig it. I hopefully it works out.
Yep.
And I don't know the bases. What do you think about the whole bases, making the bases a little bit bigger? You think that's?
I think I haven't looked into why. But I don't. It says
you 15. Cut down on player injuries.
Okay,
so I guess which I can see.
I can see that too, but that's going to be a large base, dude. Like it'll have a lot to slide into. So you're going to have to really spread out and block these bases.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I get it. Like if you're running down to, I guess you can't have one base bigger than the other. But what if you took first base and lengthened it to where, as he's running down the baseline, there's a little bit more base for him to step on. You know what I mean? Like, you have your base. You take it out maybe 4 inches more on the foul line, maybe, just so the guy has more room to step on. So he doesn't.
That's all three of the bases. That's first, second, third, going from 15 inches to 18 inches. So
it's going to look like landmines out there. It's going to be. It's just going to big old pillows or something. But whatever.
Maybe Cabrera can take a nap when he's on.
Well, yeah, it's about all. Yeah, this is his last year, I think, right?
I hope so.
It's time. I think they were banking when they gave him 10 years and all the money in the world. They were banking on we got to get a World Series out of him probably right off the bat in these first 2-3 years. And then they realized it ain't happening. Now we're stuck paying this guy.
And the man has 2 families he has to support. So,
he needs every dime.
He needs to retire and spend time with the kids.
Yeah. Well, what do you got in soccer or F1? You got anything going on this weekend?
Yeah, big race in Italy and Monza. That's basically a home race for Ferrari. In practice today, both the Ferraris were really looking good. Their straight line speed was actually better than the Red Bulls. Max is going to have a 5-position penalty due to some engine issues that he had to get solved. And I think Checo Perez from Red Bull is going to be even further. But I like kind of as a long shot, the Williams team. They've got Nicholas Latifi and Alex Albon, and they're traditionally like one of the teams that are kind of in the back of the pack. These cars seem to really roll nicely on the Monza circuit. And I'm thinking, maybe if there's like a bet where you could get both of these guys scoring points, being in the top 10, that might pay out pretty well.
So this is for the Dutch Grand?
This is the Italian. This is the Monza Grand Prix.
Oh, the Monza.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Monza is Ferrari country. That's where, it's Ferrari. The factory is there. It's going to be full force red this weekend with the Ferrari Tifosi out in force, cheering on Leclerc and Sainz. So, I'd love to see Leclerc win the race just to put a little bit of pressure on Max and maybe have him crack. So we'll see. English Premier League, all the fixtures are canceled this weekend due to the death of Elizabeth II yesterday. So it's a show of respect. And I'll tell you, England, when they at the start of these matches, when they do that minute of silence, it is silent.
Really?
Oh yeah, they take it very seriously. So, but
when do you think they'll get started back up?
Probably next weekend. But Arsenal are top of the table right now. They're a point ahead of Man City, with Arsenal's biggest rival, Tottenham, a point behind, and that's always a good one. And then your boys, well, the one you always talk about, your Leicester City Foxes are sitting in 20th place.
Yeah,
they have not won a game this year.
Now I noticed Everton also. They are winless, but they're not in like, they're not at the bottom. Why would it be? Because of the draws? Maybe
they had 4 draws and a loss. Yeah, so
okay.
And then Nottingham Forest is 19th and West Ham is 18th, which I hate to see because I love the West Hammers. They're a London team.
Yeah,
but the top or the bottom 3 teams, actually, if they finish that way at the end of the year, they drop down a division and they lose a lot of money. So there's always a lot to play for. Always a lot to play for in these games.
Well, yeah, you want to get out of that bottom.
The bottom 3, yeah. And I'd mentioned to you earlier, I think, but if people like the Lions show about the training camp that was on HBO, Hard Knocks.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, Amazon Prime. Watch the they have Arsenal and Arsenal's biggest rival, Tottenham. They have it. They have shows on both of them from last season, and it's the same engrossing kind of sports behind the scenes. You really get a nice access point from seeing how these guys are, these professional athletes. And
what's it called?
It's called All or Nothing, and you can either choose Arsenal or Tottenham. And of course, I've watched the Arsenal, and it's really reignited my fire for the game, because I kind of lost interest when Arsenal's legendary manager Arsene Wenger retired, and they went through a succession of managers. But it's some good stuff. I'll tell you what, I'm really digging it.
Okay, because I have searched it, and I keep passing over it only because I'm so busy with the football stuff.
Right.
But we're always looking for something to watch, and I love that stuff. The Hard Knocks, Lions. We watched, Leslie and I watched the last one the other night, and we just loved it. The one where they're cutting guys, and that's a tough thing for them, That hurt me.
Yeah,
I don't even know these guys, and I had
well, you kind of feel like you do after seeing the show.
You do, and anybody, and you got your haters, which
you'll have
forever. But if you didn't come out of watching those 5, and listen, am I drinking the Kool-Aid? I will be for the rest of my life. I'm so scarred up from the torment that they have done to me. It can't get worse than, what we have survived through. So, but to come out of these 5 episodes and not be pumped up, I think you're looking at Ford Field's already not only sold out, but they sold out the standing room only.
And the guy that I really followed, I really liked the running back number 46, Craig Reynolds. And man, when he made the team, I was happy, because I'll tell you what, that guy brings it. He's special.
There were 3. I liked Reynolds. I liked Rodriguez. I mean, how do you not like the kid?
Rodrigo. This guy.
He's a stud.
This guy's going to be this guy as a linebacker. If he stays healthy, wow.
Doesn't he remind you of Spielman?
He reminds me of Spielman. He reminds me of he's got that. Spielman, probably not like the best physical specimen.
Right.
Boy, the guy knew the game and could read it.
He did.
And this guy does the same thing. I mean, his awareness out in the field, it's just off the charts. I love the guy. I love his attitude too. I love the cowboy outfit he hooked himself up with.
That was cool. That was really cool.
I'll tell you what, I'm thinking I might have to go down there to Mexican town in the south part of Detroit and hook myself up with some new boots.
Well, yeah, you would be stylish. I know you could pull that off. The one guy that stuck out, and I was pulling for this guy from day one because I saw some. They weren't on Hard Knocks, but I've seen different interviews with Lucas. Did you notice he kept going up to the coaches? I can be this guy.
Yep.
I can be the guy if you just give him the chance.
Yeah.
And their coaches were cracking up. They're like, just get out there and play. He's like, I can do this. I've got this.
It's almost like he's talking himself on getting a spot on the team, which I love. Yeah. You got to have that positive mental attitude.
You do. And you want to pull for these guys.
This is a 6th-round pick, right? 6th-round pick. I think he was 6th-round pick.
I'll tell you what I think the NFL would benefit from if they. I don't know what it would cost them to pull it off, but if every NFL team every year did a Hard Knocks, I would take more episodes. I would take.
Oh yeah.
I would double it up, whatever. But if we could follow them like that and see how they brand this, how they bring the teams to where they are. Even if, like, let's say Buffalo, I would love to see how they put Buffalo together. You can watch Buffalo. You can watch any team that you've ever wanted to watch, but every team should have that film crew do that. I would never watch anything else.
Though. I've had enough of Tom Brady. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, I guess I could. I don't think we'll have to worry about it.
I think he needs to work on his marriage, but that's another story.
Right. But that Hard Knocks is the coaches that were arguing and having fun with it was just Aaron Glenn and
Deuce Staley.
Oh my God, was that fun?
Yeah, good.
That was that. I'll tell you, these players, if they don't like the coaching staff, then they got serious problems.
Well, and the thing I like about the Lions this year is, everybody's played in the NFL, basically, the coaches. And I think that carries a lot of weight with these guys.
Tons of weight. Steph and I were just talking about that. I'm like, and John Roberts also. He and I were talking that the whole coaching staff, not only they're all cool as hell, but they all were there. Brunell with Jags.
Yeah, Brunell is always a good,
and he was
not a physically gifted guy, but a smart quarterback.
Very smart. I always was. I was a Brunell.
Yeah, I always like Brunell, lefty, the old lefty.
Yep. When he was in Jacksonville, he actually kind of pulled me down towards being kind of having them in my back pocket. But just all of them. What's his name from Indiana? When he played for college for Indiana, what's his name?
Randall Antoine.
Randall. Just all of them.
Steelers, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. So it's there. And I think you got the right guy heading it. And on top of that, you've got a great GM who
very
really
guy.
He seems to be absorbing it all and letting them do it. Because I guarantee when they said you got Spielman as a front office guy, I said, we're in. This is the real deal. Because I always saw him on TV and thought, God, can somebody from Detroit call him up and say, hey, you want a job?
Yeah. Because
he's so smart, very quiet, just kind of lets things kind of take its thing. It's going to take some time. I'll take 6-7 wins this year. Oh, yeah. If you give me a few more, I'll take it.
As long as you're in the games at the end, I'm not.
And last year we were
right.
Last year it was like the games we lost. I mean, the flukes. Yeah. I mean, come on. You're not
the guy kicking a
66 yard.
I thought it was 99, but
well, it was close.
Yeah.
But come on. I mean,
that doesn't happen.
But all people focus, well, they should have never gotten down there. I'm like, dude, he kicked a 66-yard field. Who does that?
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's a once in a lifetime kick for that guy. You probably
it is. He'll never kick that again.
No.
But yeah, I'm excited this year.
Me too. Leslie,
we got
just
game one
at the bit, man.
We got game one out of the way.
Eagles. We got the Eagles coming up Sunday.
Yep. So that I'm going to handicap that one. The results that I have come up with so far on that game are not what Lions fans will want to hear. Right. And believe me, I can't do this with my heart. Outside of the show, I will play with my heart and hope that I am so wrong.
Well, I'm glad you're playing with your heart and not something else.
I know that could be a problem. Yeah. But yeah, I got some college games here. We got college coming up tomorrow. So
a couple interesting games.
The slate is absolutely filled. I've spent so much time on this stuff that I'm almost believing every single pick is going to win. That's how much that's how much I've dug into this. Now, did you have any games that stuck out to you that you like? And if I have it,
that I have interest. Yeah, I tell you that Texas A&M Appalachian State, that one. What they did to Michigan a few years ago.
Yep. I don't have that on my top 10, but I do have it as, and I always put question marks near teams that I want to dig a little deeper in, and they were on there. But with everything I've read on, it's kind of a low total of 54. But Appalachian State, as of a little while ago, we're getting 19 points.
Okay.
I don't know how you take a Texas A&M team that I don't think is that good to blow them out. Appalachian State, they have made their mark. And
they get pumped up to play these games.
Yeah, they want these. And I'll tell you what, Texas A&M should sit down with Michigan and say, what do we need to do to get this done and make it as clean and
I'll tell you the other what's an early SEC matchup is Kentucky, Florida.
Yep.
That's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah. I think my opinion on that one, I would be oh man, I think it's going to be really tight. I think it's going to be close.
I think so too.
It's going to be under the number of 52.5. I don't think we're going to see, because these are just not, I think you got a Kentucky program coming up.
Yep.
And Florida is kind of just hovering at this.
Well,
we're not sure. Are we good?
Nice win last weekend. So
yeah, he did. But Kentucky's coming in. You're giving them 5.5 points. Oh, buddy. I don't have it on my top 10, but if I had to go somewhere with this, I would definitely take Kentucky plus the number.
Oh, yeah. Although the swamp is hard, but Kentucky the last couple of years they've kind of impressed me, and that's like, I'm a UT guy. That's my alma mater, and Kentucky plays us tough now. It's not a gimme game like it used to be.
No, absolutely not.
But that's good. That's good for the rivalry. I mean,
it's why we watch this stuff.
Yeah,
Jason.
Exactly. Yep.
It's we watch college because these kids want to get to the next level.
Yep.
I mean, we can say what we want about pro. It is what it is. We're not changing their attitudes at all. If they want to be there, they'll be there. If they don't, right. And you always hope, like for us, we always hope the Lions can pick that out.
But college football, Chris, from when we were younger guys watching it, it's gone such a radical change. It's
right.
It's just crazy. It's not the same game that we used to watch in the 70s.
No.
80s.
No. So basically, After all is said and done, I've got my top 10. You can tell me what you think.
All right. I'll weigh in.
I've got at number 10. I love this game. Texas San Antonio. -2.5 over Army. There's two things I like about this game. This is kind of one of these ones that are kind of flying under the radar.
And I like that Army bunch.
See, and this is what's good about the show. We can agree to disagree. I've always I love the Army, love the Navy, love the Air Force. I love that these guys can throw out some guys that can play sports. They're not just known for their,
athletic ability. Most of those guys are very, very intelligent.
Yep.
People.
They are. They're very intelligent. And an Army-Navy game is on my bucket list.
Oh, that's a great. Oh, I'd love to go to Philadelphia and watch that. Man.
Absolutely.
Cheesesteak and Army-Navy game. I'm there. I'm there.
Now, that is that's badass there, dude. That sounds like a good combo, and we may have to take the show.
Oh, God. I'd love to do that.
Wouldn't that be fun,
Oh, man. Like you said, bucket list.
Yes. So, yeah, I've got it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be extremely low scoring. I just think this is one for – it's going to be a 3-point game one way or the other. I just think Texas San Antonio is going to have the edge. I could spend all day and tell you why, but I got that for my top 3 picks. Right. So at my number 9, I got Houston +3 over Texas Tech. Let me see here.
Ooh, Texas brawl.
Yeah. The number is at 65.5. I don't think they'll see it. I think both defenses are really pretty decent, so they're going to keep that number down. But I do like Houston getting 3 points. I think they have it backwards.
Yeah.
I think Texas Tech should probably getting the 3. I think Houston should be favored. That's why I like it. Now, the game you were talking about earlier, I have at 8. I love the game. Is Tennessee and Pittsburgh.
Yep. In Pittsburgh.
But what I like most about this game is neither one of them. I like the over 66. I have, after I did all my numbers, I have close to 80 points being scored in this game. It's going to be, you're going to see 30s for sure.
With Hooker, I mean, the guy's explosive.
I
love to watch him.
Yes, he is a beast.
Virginia Tech transfer in Tennessee last year, and I'm glad we have him. I like him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't want to go down that road because ever since I fired Fulmer, we've been shit. But whatever.
Right.
We'll get back one of these years.
Yeah, I just think both programs are in the mix. They're both beasts, and I think that the offense they're going to be slinging it around the field. I love in this game. I love the first half total. Also, it's just under 40. This is going to be. I could see a first quarter being 21-14, some crazy thing.
Yep.
So I think they're going to put up a lot of points here. Defenses are going to be running all over the map.
Oh yeah.
So it's going to be a fun game. Now, coming in at number 7, USC -9 over Stanford.
Yeah.
I think this one probably should be a little more. -9, kind of. I'm single digit. Seriously. I think he's got both the offense and defense going.
I do too.
Let's see. Quarterback Caleb Williams He got the Blitnikoff Award last year. He was the winner there. Let's see here. It does. Their offense reminds me a lot of the Oklahoma offense when Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray were there. I just think USC is going to make noise. And you know what? They're coming into the Big Ten, my friend.
Right. And that's they're going to prove that they belong in the Big Ten.
Yep. I don't know, man.
The Pac-10 is just, I've never really thought it was that strong a conference. I mean, you always had one or two or three teams that were good, but top to bottom, not like the Big Ten or the SEC.
Right. And, they're playing in Stanford, but last year the Cardinals got blown out at home 3 different times, allowing 32 points or more per game, over 450 yards per game. I think Stanford's still got a ways to go.
Oh, yeah.
So 9 points is nothing. I think you may see some back door. They may cover it in the back door or whatever. But I do really like that game. I just think it should have been 12.5, maybe something.
Yeah.
Now, my number 6, this almost was a best bet too. I got Alabama, but I got them -11 over Texas first half. You know as well as I know in college football, dude, they love to, if they're blowing somebody out, and you may be at your number. Like, let's say you got Alabama -35 points. It could be 35-3 at halftime. You're like, well, this is a cakewalk. Well, all of a sudden, they took their foot off the pedal. The other team scores a touchdown. Now you're like, whoa, hold on. Let's get back in here, guys. Alabama doesn't do that. They don't pile on the points. I've never seen them. I've never seen what's his name go out there and just pile up points on these colleges. If he wins, lets up, just gets the win. We're just going to get to our 12-0, 11-1, and call it a day. But Texas is going to bring. They're going to bring it. Yeah. It's -20 right now. Do I like the full game? No way. It's okay.
They got, Texas has a lot to prove.
They do. And, they're coming back. The old Texas that we remember, they're building that program again. But if you're going to give me Alabama -11 first half, that's an easy. I could see a 21-7, 28-7, 28-10, maybe. But they'll creep over that 11 number. So I do like that. And then we are going to Western Michigan -6. And they're at home. I just, buddy, I like our Broncos at home. I've seen it bouncing around 6.5. I don't think you have anything to worry about. Now, Ball State whooped their ass last year. They've won the last 2 meetings. But the Broncos.
Tennessee beat Ball State last weekend pretty handily, so I don't think they're as good as they used to be.
No, and that's right. Tennessee, it is Tennessee, but they were not even in the game. They're running Ball State's running game, and I know Tennessee and Western, they're two different animals, but dude, they're running with 2.7 yards per carry. The quarterback had a few interceptions. The defense gave up 45 points to Tennessee before they could even put any points on the board.
Yeah.
The Broncos, they faced State. They were hanging in there tough till they got through the third quarter, and it was like, hey, State, you better turn it up a notch.
State didn't play their best game, but Western Michigan didn't, lay down and die. They were right there.
No, and I think I saw enough from them to say, hey, Ball State is 1-6 against the spread away while coming off double-digit losses. I think Western, they don't want to go down 0-2. So let's get this win over Broncos. They only need a touchdown, and I think they can definitely do that.
Yep.
Now, I had to post what we're talking about right now. I had to post it on Facebook because my number 4 is tonight's game, and that's Boise and New Mexico. Let's see here. Give me a second. But I don't have a winner. I could not pick a side on this. I found
playing Boise State.
The Boise State of old. You could have given New Mexico 40 points, but Boise State's they're trying to come back. They've been kind of slumping the last few years, but you're asking Boise State and New Mexico, who put up some points, and their defenses are not good, Jay. We need to go over 44 points. That's 22 points per team.
Yeah.
I know New Mexico is much different than Oregon State, but last week they allowed 470 yards. Ooh. And they allowed 7.7 yards per play, and they gave up 34 points.
Man.
Okay, we need to go to 45 points, Jay.
Yeah, it'll hit. I think
it's going to hit.
Oh yeah.
They had 5 offensive turnovers, gifting Oregon State short fields on multiple occasions. The Lobos defense allowed next to nothing in their week 1 game, but they were playing an FCS school. They racked up 267 yards on the ground, had 10 different players with at least a carry. They're gonna put some points on this board.
Yep.
So that's what we want. We want them to the defenses to lay down.
The classic Western shootout.
Yeah, right.
Let's hit it.
Yep. Now, my top 3, guy. I'm telling you, put your money down on these 3 picks. All right,
man, hit me.
We just got done talking about one. Texas, San Antonio, and Army under 54.5. Now, if you look at last week's games, you'll be like, hell to the no, because Army and UTSA gave up almost 40 points each last week. But I'm not expecting that tomorrow. Army is known for controlling the time of possession because of its triple option offense. We've seen it. Like, they've been doing it forever, Jay. They do that 3 guy and they nibble away. They chip away. But guess what's happening? Tick, 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 tick. That clock's ticking, brother.
Yep.
And the defenses are really not bad. They played teams that they were teams that they're going to beat up on them anyway. I think if the Dark Knights control the time of possession, then the Roadrunners won't have any opportunities to score. San Antonio totaled 9 tackles for losses last week. The linebackers, they definitely did disappoint. They recorded 19 tackles. So obviously a lot of the plays are coming up the middle. It's just what Army does. They chip away at you. Now, the passing game did hurt San Antonio's defense in that game. But the Dark Knights, they don't pass often, so we don't have to worry about it. They're going to stack the line. I expect both teams to have their defenses ready to go. Army should control the clock, and it's going to get Army back to what makes them successful. Just chip, 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 chip away. And they ain't going to see that total, buddy. They're not going to see it. So I like them under 54.5. It's one of my favorite plays. Now, my number 2, I know you didn't see this on your radar, brother. Georgia Southern over in my opinion, a super overrated Nebraska team.
Oh, Georgia's horrible.
I'm telling you. And at the end of the year, I'm going to say, Jay, we talked about Georgia Southern. They're the real deal. They're going to win. I think they're going to win the Sun Belt this year. they're kind of like that Appalachian State of their own, like little Sun Belt thing. Nebraska is garbage. The Cornhuskers have been double-digit favorites in both of their games this season. But one, they had an outright loss. So you're favored by double digits. You better not lose that game.
No.
But they had a 21-point win where they failed to cover against the Fighting Hawks. They are even favored by even more this week against a top-end Sun Belt team that has plenty of playmakers and the ability to hang with teams of this caliber. Yeah. The way Nebraska is playing right now, it ain't happening, brother. Georgia Southern, they're coming off a 59-7 win over Morgan State. Yes, it's Morgan State, but they're not a bad smaller school. They're decent.
To beat a Big Ten team, these guys are hungry, man.
Oh, dude, this is
fired up.
They put this on there. This is circled, Jay.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, take the 23.5. That is a gift.
Oh yeah.
Georgia Southern's quarterback is badass also. He torched the Bears through the air, 29 for 46 for 367 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, the Cornhuskers, like I said, been double-digit favorites in both of their games, but there is no way I'm going to lay more than 3 touchdowns.
No.
On Nebraska. No, hell to the no.
Nope.
You're going to give me 23.5 of them?
I'll take it.
Done deal. That's my cash
all day.
Show me the fucking money.
That's
now,
right.
Number 1, best bet of the day. Jay, if you don't bet this, you're a fool.
I've been called that before, a time or two.
I'm called it daily, so. I'm not calling it the whale play of the year or whatever, but this is. Do what you got to do. Look this one up. Air Force -17, which if you said it to me at the bar, I'd be like, what? Air Force. Over Colorado. What? Over Colorado? They're not great, but 17? Yes. I think Air Force is the best team in the Mountain West. They thrashed Northern Iowa 48-17. It is Northern Iowa, but it is a thrashing.
Yep.
They've racked up 703 yards of offense.
They're rolling.
But this is the one that gets me. 594 yards on the ground, 9.9 yards per rush. Now, they're not going to run the ball 90% of the time like they did against Iowa, but their passing was 50%. Colorado got absolutely butt slammed by TCU. They got beat by 25, and it was really worse than that. Their defense was just decimated by the ground game. Ground game, Jay, I just got done saying.
Yeah.
Air Force is pounding the ball. Okay, so if TCU can do that.
9 a carry, I mean, my God.
Right. Yeah. And they were giving up 9.17 yards per carry. And that was only 275 yards on the ground. The TCU held a 60% success rate on the ground and 62% rate when rushing on early downs. Now, Colorado's offense was not good at all. They were less than 5 yards a play. They put them in the bottom 10 percentile of all teams last week. The Buffaloes were completely outclassed, and they've got to face probably the toughest running attack they will see all year.
Oh yeah.
Jay, this game has a 42-17 score. I see. I think it's going to be an absolute pummel. So that's what I got for my college games for tomorrow. Now, there could be, and I will post those on Facebook, if there's some last minute things that come up that I may have missed or that I'll find later, because I just keep chipping away. If I find something, I'll send you it, and then I'll post it on Facebook. But those top 3 plays, if you're a college football bettor, take my word on those 3. Those those all three should cash. It'd have to be something fluky, like a backdoor or something that would change the outcome of these games.
That's the thing that's interesting about it is that's why they play the games.
I know.
That's why we love it, and that's why we tune in every week.
Yep, and hopefully Monday I'm not sitting here with a dunce cap on saying,
let's hope.
Now, how much did I tell you to put on that game? I didn't really mean that. No, it's fun. It's why we do this. Every weekend we get pumped up for this. We're going to have a great time watching these games, talking about them. I can guarantee you next Monday we're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. A lot of great football on this weekend. Really looking forward to it.
Yep. And, Sunday we'll have our pregame show. And so we'll be knee deep into the numbers to try to come up with some. I've got some pretty good ones that I've been thinking about already. So, but we'll get that on our next show.
Yeah, and hey, I'll tell you what, guys out there, if you want to throw a bet on Formula One action, it doesn't start until 9 a.m. on Sunday, so you got plenty of time to get a bet in. And
what are we betting, Jay? What would you suggest?
I'm kind of my long shot is the Williams team getting both drivers in the top 10, Latifi and Albon. I think the Williams cars are going to come good this weekend. I would not bet against Charles Leclerc or Sainz for Ferrari to win the race. I think they've got one of those two has got to win it. It's a home race. The Ferrari red, the fans are going to be out in force. It's just, I think it's going to be a cracking race.
Wow. That's for Formula One, and that's where, in Italy?
Yep, Italy. Yep, the Monza track, the Monza circuit, the old legendary Monza circuit. You remember the old Chevrolet Monza back in the 70s? That's, I think, where they got the name from.
Nice. So there you go. You got your F1 plays.
All right.
English Premier. We're putting aside for the Queen. Well-deserved. 96, 97 years old.
96, yep.
That's I personally don't want to live that long, because I can't imagine the shape I'm in now, and you're telling me basically 40 more years. No, dude, I'd be a sloppy mess.
Yeah, you might be, but I think I could handle it. So I'm gonna go for another 40.
I'm pulling for you, dude. If I don't, I will be your ghost and I will help you along.
Well, and if something happens and you go before. Oh, I almost forgot. Happy belated birthday. Your birthday was yesterday.
Oh yeah. A big 5'2".
5'2". Yeah, you're a young guy yet. So.
Oh, what? But I appreciate it. And all the Facebook thank yous. I haven't got on there to thank everybody for the happy birthdays, but I appreciate it all.
But all you bums out there, man, have a great weekend. Hook into some games and win some money. Yeah,
if you did not check in and you're coming in late, we're putting this up on Facebook right now, so you can watch it again. But yes, bet safe, bet smart. Take Jay's his knowledge on car racing serious, because he knows his stuff, and we know everything else with the baseball, football, hockey, basketball. Bet it, bet smart, and we will see you soon.
All right.
See ya. Have a great weekend.
Everybody, have a great weekend. Peace. Later.